All right, in this video, I'm going to show you why empathy is actually killing your conversions, especially with premium buyers, and why you should be really uncomfortable right now, especially if empathy is one of your content pillars that shows up really regularly. Because sometimes the content that you think is building connection with your ideal client is actually pushing them away. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why that's happening and what to do instead. Here's what I see coaches doing every single day where they're planning out their content for the week, and one of their pillars is, okay, empathy. So they create a post about how hard it is, I see you, how messy the journey is, you're not alone, it's okay to struggle. And while all of that might be valid, the intention is beautiful, it shows that you genuinely care. And the reason that's broken is because we feel like we need to microdose our audience with empathy through months and months and months of content. They need to feel like we get them, that we see their struggle, that we understand where they're at right now, that we can describe their symptoms to them. But doing that throughout your content is basically putting yourself on the long path to conversions. And what I mean by that is when we look at what makes somebody pre-sold on you so that they show up already ready to buy, already ready to raise your hand, we need to understand that building trust in who you are, which includes knowing that you empathize with them, should happen the very moment that people meet you. So think about it like this. If you had a friend where every single time you connected with that friend, they kept repeating over and over how they see you and they get you and, oh, I know where you're at. Like, yeah, I've been there, but they never actually helped you solve your problem, right? So if all they showed was empathy, or if that empathy kept like coming up over and over and over again, it would be a nice friend, but that's not somebody you would hire to actually help you solve your problem. So in the mind of your ideal client, if you were talking about a premium buyer, the first thing they need to feel is that you get them. And then you don't have to keep repeating that over and over again. They want to move towards the solution. When we think about the 4 trust triggers that I teach, you get them, empathy, the first one. You care about them wholeheartedly. This means that you don't look at them just as a transaction or just like a walking credit card. Number 3, you've got them. This is where your expertise and authority come in, where your case studies and testimonials, where proof that you know what you're doing and know what you're talking about. And number 4, your values and personalities align. But we should be shifting all of that to the front of the sales cycle, meaning the moment that people first meet you, they should feel all the empathy they need to feel from you. They should have true conviction that you understand where they're at, that you care about them, that you understand what it takes and you know what it takes, like with your eyes closed, how to get them from point A to point B, and that they'll actually enjoy the journey of doing it with you, i.e. your values, your personality align in that they want to enjoy the process of working with you. But once that happens top of funnel, what they really want next is the solution, but they have blocks and objections and things keeping them from embracing and taking action on the solution right now. And this is where the conviction piece of the puzzle comes in. So when we look at what it takes to get pre-sold clients, the first step in the process is creating connection. And that's what we do with the human connection video, the trust audit, and more importantly, we start by understanding exactly who your dreamiest client is. And this is where trust is built. This first top of funnel thing, meaning when people land on your website, land on your social media profiles, they need to understand what you're about, that you have got them, that you care about them, that you understand them, and you get them on a deep level. Like the empathy is already established so that you can move on to the next phase of the customer journey, which is conviction. So conviction is where we take what they believe in, we understand exactly where they're at in their customer journey, in their level of awareness, and we know where we want to get them to, which is point B. And we look at everything that's in between point A and point B. What are the objections that they have? What are the beliefs that need to be shifted? This is what our content needs to do, not this. This should happen top of funnel at scale with very, very specific assets. This is where we have our human connection video. This is where we have the exact messaging on your website, your bio, your pinned posts. That first interaction that your dreamiest client will have with you should already establish trust. After that, they don't need to be drip fed for months and months and months. They just need to hear, see, and believe the exact perspective shifting things that will get them to be ready to buy. And so the biggest problem is that we don't do conviction content at all. We don't have belief shifting pieces in place for them to consume. And we think that as long as we keep building connection over months and months and months, they will be ready to buy at the end. And yes, that can happen, but that is a very, very long sales cycle. Just if you're curious, part 3 is continuity, is where we create the engine where all of these belief shifting pieces of content are in front of your audience 24/7. So you're not having to post 5 times a day. What most people do is they take somebody who's really cold in their world and they already expect this journey to take 6 to 12 to 18 months. And every single day, they're just dripping little pieces of content that are going to build trust over time, but they're hoping that the sum of all of these pieces are going to somehow create trust. But trust can be engineered, and it should be engineered. If you understand how to engineer trust, you don't have to play the long game. Instead, what we do with our clients is we have a really important human connection moment right here. This is where they watch your human connection video, they understand in 2.5, 3 minutes everything that you're about, what drives you, what makes you incredible, how you've got them, all the trust triggers are activated, and they already feel like, oh my gosh, this could be my person, or oh my gosh, this is somebody I really, really want to pay attention to, because that's what your ideal client is evaluating the moment they meet you. And instead of drip feeding them through this entire long process with a million pieces of content, we create the specific assets that shift their beliefs from point A to point B. So instead of a bumpy road of a million different pieces, they have a specific belief shift, a specific belief shift, a specific belief shift, and all of those add up to very specific touch points that then lead them ready to raise their hand. So think about it like this. When somebody meets you in real life, right? And at like a networking event or some sort of coffee meeting, let's say they're your ideal client. How long does it take for them to feel like you get them? Not long, right? Like they hear you talk for 5 minutes, they watch and hear you move, and then they catch the way that you describe their exact situation in their own words, and something clicks like, okay, she gets me. And that's the gate. That's empathy doing its job of opening up the door of trust. But once that's open, it stays open. You don't have to keep opening up the gate over and over again. You don't have to keep proving that you get them. You can show them by shifting their belief. They don't need to see that you get them over and over again. They just need to know what to do next. So your ideal client, when they hear you in empathy content over and over again, they're probably thinking, okay, she gets me, he gets me, but can they actually help me? Do they actually have the thing that's going to move the needle for me? And this is where viral content really kind of bothers me a little bit, because in order for content to go viral, a lot of people need to resonate with it. So it typically hits on the empathy or the thing that is like common to everyone that a lot of people can resonate with. And most of the time, that's actually not going to move the needle in your business, because empathy is only a tiny part of the equation, and it's the opening the gate. It's not showing them the way. It's not the path forward. It's just the connection point. It's actually just part of the connection point. So if you're a coach who thinks that I just need to produce more content, I just need more visibility, I need more eyeballs, I need more people to see me, I'm going to show them how much I get them, I'm going to empathize with them, I'm going to talk about their pain points. You're playing the long game. Again, I'm not saying that doesn't work. I'm just saying it takes a lot longer and a lot more pieces of content to make that work. What you need is to establish that on the front end, to understand that human connection is built very, very quickly and how to engineer that. And after you've established that, you can then put the right pieces of belief shifting content in front of them so that they're skipping steps, they're moving forward versus just getting hit over and over and over and kind of playing on the familiarity bias that might cause them to buy. I don't know about you, but my clients are fast action takers. They know what they want. They don't want the fluff. They don't want to take a long time to make the right decision. And that's why I give them exactly what they need to hear at the right points of their journey. I show them that I get them in the specific belief shifting pieces that I create inside of the trust engine, which is exactly what I teach them how to do inside of pre-sold clients. Premium clients don't need a ton of empathy. They don't need to feel seen all the time. They need to get that you're the right person and then understand all of the barriers that need to be lifted in order to be ready to buy from you. Empathy opens the gate. They walk through it and you show them the path forward. You show them the system. It's human connection, trust, belief shifts, and then continuity over and over again. Not empathy on repeat. Not the same gate open 47 times. The system for creating trust intentionally so that premium clients arrive already sold before they ever hear your offer. If you're curious to learn more about that, just DM me PreSold on Instagram. There's a link in the description, and I'll see you in the next one.